Shalom, my brothers and sisters. Shalom and welcome. This is Man's Final Steps. It is a continuing series to those who will be among the ranks of the 144,000 and multitude, many of which do not know their true identity. But through a refining and perfecting process by the Spirit of Yahushua, we will indeed come to know our identity and the task and purpose in which the Spirit of Yahushua has in store for us. In this segment of Man's Final Steps, today is January 31st, 2014. It is entitled, Prepare to Endure Until the End. My brothers and sisters, those of you who will be among the ranks of the obedient, this message again is entitled, Prepare to Endure Until the End. I have mentioned in times past how I am compelled to believe the children of obedience, those who will make up the 144,000 in multitude, who will come out of the great tribulation, are being refined and perfected as I speak. I have also mentioned that I am compelled to believe the identity of those who will be in the ranks of these groups have yet to be unveiled. I further believe the actions of these individuals, the 144,000 in multitude, will speak louder than those who are falsely claiming, erroneously, their positions. Prepare. Soon we will witness the emergence of the two witnesses mentioned in Revelation, and along with these we will begin to see an emergence of elders chosen by the Spirit of Yahushua, who will confirm their arrival and work in conjunction with them to assemble the children of obedience. The children of obedience of whose scriptures have informed us that we are not appointed unto the wrath of Elohim. We will be gathered and directed to a safe place, with the exception of those who will be martyrs, in order to shelter in place and echo the reign of Yahushua. The process of refining and endurance will prove to be of great necessity as we press forward. There are many experiences we will come to see, with each bringing us closer together in unity. Before I continue, allow me to read the following. 2 Timothy 2:12 states, If we endure, we shall also reign with him. If we deny him, he also shall deny us. How many of us realize when it says, if we deny him, he also shall deny us? How many of us realize if we deny the Spirit of Yahushua working in us one towards another, this is also a means of denying the Spirit of Yahushua? Failure to discern the Spirit of Yahushua working in another, working in us one towards another, is a means of denying him. Pray on these words. Hebrews 12:7 says, If you endure discipline, Elohim is treating you as sons, for what son is there whom a father does not discipline? James 1:12 read, Blessed is the man who does endure trial, for when he has been proved, he shall receive the crown of life which the Master has promised to those who love him. James 5:11 reads, See, we call those blessed who endure. You have heard of the endurance of Job, and saw the purpose of Yahuwah that he is very sympathetic and compassionate. 1 Peter 2:20 reads, For what credit is there in enduring a beating when you sin? But if you suffer for doing good and you endure, this finds favor with Elohim. Are we ready to come to grips with the refining process necessary for bringing together a unified group? A group who desires to worship and obey the Almighty Father Yahuwah through the living guidance of the Spirit of Yahushua, in or through his chosen vessels? Could these verses and other scriptures indicate we will face pain and suffering as we are refined? Could these verses also be a note of warning to prepare for such challenging times ahead? Do you think it would be wise to seek out living guidance from the Spirit of Yahushua with an earnest mind, body, and soul? It would be wise to establish a ready mind, clear vision, and attentive ears to hear what the Spirit of Yahushua is saying directly in or through his chosen. I will make an attempt to highlight what we will soon face. Some of our brothers in other parts of the world and in other communities are already facing these conditions of which I am about to present. My brothers and sisters, take heed, be alert, and establish a ready mind, body, and soul to respond with precision as the call together reaches your mind, body, and soul. Like a time bomb with a fuse lit, the severe drought in California will result in increased famine across the globe. The state of California is perceived as the salad bowl of the earth, as stated in one of the most recent news releases. Research, do your homework, and you will discover much of the salad ingredients, from lettuce to spinach to mixed greens to carrots to tomatoes. Many of the things we put in our salads originate from the state of California. In addition to California, there are many other areas across the globe that once had conditions ripe for growing fruits and vegetables are experiencing major droughts. In some cases, it could be flooding. Man-made pollution and other catastrophic conditions are destroying our ability to produce enough food to feed the growing population. Scriptures foretell of famine, drought, pestilence, and disease. But what many fail to realize, the scriptures do not inform us how these things will come to be. Another thing which is ignored consists of how people will respond to increasingly severe condition. While there are those who would seek to comfort you with misuse of scriptures, the realities of what is unfolding will reach each and every one of our doorsteps. We will soon realize that function, our actions, will speak much louder in the foreseeable future than form, which is mere words. I've stated in time past how fresh air, fresh water, and food are three key ingredients for our practical survival. I have also acknowledged that it is written that man does not live by bread alone, but by every word which proceeds out of the mouth of the Almighty Father Yahuwah. Remember, there will be a ripple effect. Once famine, drought, pestilence, and disease are magnified at alarming proportion, it really does not take a rocket scientist to see what is unfolding before our very eyes. And in the wake of such chaos, increased violence, turmoil, civil unrest, increased wars, both across national boundaries as well as battles domestically, will increase. Whether you know it or not, there are current stressful battles right now over fresh water, food supplies, and distribution, as well as battles over population management and possible containment. If you doubt this, research the number of grocery stores that have been closing. Research the term food desert. Research the term food supply. And you will not be hard-pressed to determine that famine is on the rise, worse than it has ever been since man's existence. There are many diverse wars, and these wars will erupt at a larger scale. They will enlarge big enough for the citizens of the planet to all come together with a consensus to agree that end times are here. The anti-Messiah, who is the beast and the false prophet, along with those who will establish a one-world government system, they will not reach their objective without growing pains, without severe growing pains. In other words, there will be much chaos and confusion before this one-world government takes shape. They will not accomplish their goals and objectives as described in scriptures without resistance from the children of obedience. Yes, they will find resistance from the children of obedience. There will be those among the ranks of the children of obedience, some who will die as martyrs, lifting up the reign of Yahushua our Mashiach, our Messiah. There will be those of us who will be gathered to a safe place, 12,000 from each of the tribes of Yasharal, also known as Israel. And I am referencing true Yasharal, a group that will total 144,000. And they will be accompanied by a great multitude that will come alone, that will be gathered with them to a safe place. Once gathered into the safe place, we will witness We will come to see the two witnesses of Revelation make their trek to Jerusalem as written in Scripture. And we will see the last final countdowns of this battle before the return of our Mashiach, our Messiah. There will be no pre-tribulation rapture, and soon all and any individual with a belief akin to what is written in Scriptures, they will come to accept the error in the teachings of such atrocities, the teachings of a pre-tribulation rapture. This will spark a time where there will be a loss of confidence in many leaders among varying fellowships of all types that share similar beliefs as it regards to end times. It will be a time where credibility of leaders will be diminished and come to naught in many cases. It will be a time when many will fall from their prospective beliefs. It will be a time also of much reproof, correction, and discipline. It will be a time when many who seek to honestly worship and obey the Almighty Father will convert to what is true and what is righteous, especially pertaining to His true name. My brothers and sisters, the details regarding gathering believers from newly converts to those who have been in the walk for ages will be a daunting task, but yet this task will be fulfilled in order to bring what is written to pass. There will be details. There will be a refining process which has begun already. The 144,000 in multitude will be refined and unified in the wake of extreme humbling events. There will emerge elders who will execute right rulings and judgment like never before as they are guided by the Spirit of Yahushua. The hand of the Almighty Father Yahuwah will prove those whom He has chosen to deliver His messages and to lead in this gathering. These are man's final steps. The comfort of lagging and dragging our feet regarding earnest worship and true obedience to the Most High Father Yahuwah, through His set-apart Spirit that He sent in Yahushua's name, will come to an end among the children of obedience. Living instructions, guidance, reproof, discipline, and judgment will be widespread among the ranks of the gathered. We will be surprised at who will be among these ranks. We will face major changes in foods that we eat, how much we consume, our drinking habits, and many other behaviors of which we have become accustomed to will change abruptly. Many practices that we believe to be righteous will be brought to naught, and we will discover the correct and righteous way to honor all commands, all laws, and all set-apart times, all appointed times, as guided by the Spirit of Yahushua. Yes, we will be refined and perfected into a unified group in order to fulfill what is written. Remember this verse as things become more intense in the very near future. 1 Corinthians 10:13. 1 Corinthians 10:13, and it reads as follows: No trial has overtaken you except such as is common to man, and Elohim is trustworthy, who shall not allow you to be tried beyond what you are able, but with the trial shall also make the way of escape, enabling you to bear it. I invite you to revisit the book of Job and read with attentive eyes and ears and hear what the Spirit of Yahushua makes alive during your reading. Prepare to endure until the end. Remember, scriptures do not promise us luxuries and vanity along this journey. Scriptures do not reveal all the specific details that will come to be. However, this does not mean we will not go through a process of refinement. Scriptures have informed us about learning the voice of the Almighty Father and obeying Him, along with being mindful of His use of messengers or malachim, not to mention His chosen prophets or anyone whom He chooses to use to speak to us, one towards another. We have been instructed to pray without ceasing, staying in constant communications with the Spirit of Yahushua. What so many fail to realize is that if the Spirit of Yahushua dwells within us, We owe it to ourselves to communicate with one another in fellowship as so ordered in scriptures. In doing so, it is the Spirit of Yahushua speaking in us, to us, one towards another, as we speak and engage what is written and what is described in scripture, as it relates to fellowship, as it relates to praying without ceasing. Prepare, pray on those words, my brothers and sisters. Seek to understand and discern what these words mean. Prepare to endure until the end. Remember, there will be those among the ranks of the physically living who will be walking on this planet upon the return of our Mashiach, our Messiah Yahushua. I believe with all my mind, body, and soul, many will be in a safe, appointed place somewhere within the true Mount Sinai region, a region where the true Mount Sinai has been labeled Jabal al-Laws. It does not yet appear how we will live together in an appointed place, but know this, there will be much refining and we will come to adjust and adapt to what is ordered and commanded by the Spirit of Yahushua. Again, I want to invite you to revisit the book of Job or Job in scriptures. Read it earnestly with ready ears to witness the life presented in them by the Spirit of Yahushua. Look in the mirror, choose wisely your direction, and begin to prepare to endure until the end. The Spirit of Yahushua will provide clear directions, guidance, reproof, discipline, and judgment as we journey along the way, either directly or through his chosen. Pray and watch, my brothers and sisters. These are severe times. Most of all, develop an earnest mind, body, and soul to worship and obey he that gives breath, a heartbeat, and life immeasurably. Yahushua our Mashiach is his name. Yahushua is his name. These are man's final steps indeed. The 144,000 and the multitude who will come out of the great tribulation are being refined, and soon the two witnesses of Revelation will emerge. There are no rewind buttons. We will have no do-over opportunities. Be encouraged. Shortening of days has begun, and we will soon witness the return of Yahushua our Mashiach, our Messiah, upon the fulfillment of all that is written in scriptures. All that is described before his return will come to be fulfilled. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, I pray that none of us are overtaken by unbelief and rebellion. I pray that we are focused on Yahushua and in watching him and worshiping and obeying and lifting him up. We will witness him draw all men to himself, and in doing so, we will come to see one another in the ranks of the children of obedience. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, continue to press forward into pure worship and obedience to the Almighty Father Yahuwah. Until next time, stay tuned as this series continues by the mercies and favors and by the guidance of the Spirit of Yahushua. Shalom. Shalom. Shalom.